Hi, this is Jen, and thanks for joining me. Today I am creating one card using this beautiful stamp by Creative Expressions, which is a woodware / Creative Expressions called Feathered Arrow. This is an acrylic stamp, so if you do not like acrylic stamps, this probably would not be a stamp for you. Me, I don't mind them. I know that there are, there are different brands that maybe are better than others. For me, I love the Creative Expressions acrylic stamps as well as the Kaisercraft. I think they're both great quality. But most of the time I use it with the stamping platform, and I don't plan on keeping really any of my stamps past, a couple of years. So I don't worry about them lasting forever. So they're a great alternative to photopolymers, which are a little more expensive than the acrylic stamps. And so for me, I just don't mind using them. I actually think they have a lot of great designs, and they work really well. So for this card, I'm going to take a piece of 110-pound black cardstock from Michaels. And I've already prepped the surface of that with my embossing bag. And now I'm just taking my VersaFine embossing ink and stamping up that image. And I do have to do it several times, but I don't usually prep my stamps, so maybe prepping it would help with the stamp, but like I said, I don't usually prep them, so I just use my platform, and it is an easy way to get your image stamped really well. And I'm taking some clear embossing powder. And so basically the clear embossing powder is just going to take on whatever color you have in the background. And so since my background is black, it's just going to look like I have my image embossed in black. And I'm going to be watercoloring today, so I am using this set of watercolors from Hobby Lobby, and these are the Master's Touch metallic watercolors. And I am using a size 1 round brush for watercoloring, which is what I usually use. I use a 0 or a 1 usually for cards, especially for smaller images like these. And as you go up in size with a brush, of course, the tip is going to get larger. And I'm using a Michaels 110-pound cardstock to do my watercoloring. And so this is not a watercoloring paper, but I would compare the amount of water and watercolor that I'm using to probably the same as maybe using a Sharpie marker on black paper, which is not going to affect the paper too much. So it's not, you can watercolor on thicker cardstocks and papers. I mean, it depends on the brand, I suppose, and really the quality, but Michaels I wouldn't say is a top of. And so for this image, I go ahead and I color each of the feathers once, and then I let those dry, and then I go back and color the image again. And again, I'm not using a lot of water or color, and I am brushing it on fairly lightly, not heavy or digging my brush into the paper. And so that helps as well to not kind of disrupt the fibers in the paper. But this is a smoother cardstock, I would say, and it does take the water better than maybe a copy paper or another brand. For example, I have the Hammer Mill paper, which I use. It's 110 pounds, and I use it for my card bases mainly because it's a little cheaper or less expensive, but it does not play well with water. And so any water that I put on that cardstock, it just destroys the paper. And so I've completed the watercoloring. I'm going to go ahead and emboss this image again just to get it to stand out. And I had a little bit of issues with that, and I wanted to throw in this fast forward of my voice.
Yeah, I'm totally off. I'm off, but I'm going to go with it. I don't know why. The paper just sticks not. I don't get it.
So what happened was I fast forward most of my video at 1.5 times speed, just because it picks it up a little bit and shortens it, but doesn't make it so fast that you can't see what's going on. And so I had that little clip of my voice, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And so I included it. But what actually happened was I had left the stamp in my stamp positioner, and I thought I had put my paper in the exact same spot, but apparently I didn't. I put it all the way against the corner, but it did leave a shadow, which happens to me quite often. But it did actually end up creating a nice shadow in it. I think it helped the card rather than hurt it. And so after I went ahead and did that second heat embossing with the gold, I took my Gansai Tambi Starry Night watercolors, which are shades of gold and some whites, and splattered that with my paintbrush onto the image. And next I'm going to use some liquid pearls. I apologize for the darkness. I had went back into my craft room later in the day, and I had my overhead light on, but I forgot to turn my room light on, and so you'll see it's kind of a little bit darker than it normally is. But I am using my liquid pearls, which I absolutely love. And from left to right, the colors I'm using are Mermaid, Ancient Gold, Ocean Blue, Lavender Lace, and Hydrangea. And I just tried to pick colors that would be a little bit of a contrast against the color, the watercolor. And I just went over some of the embossed images where there were little dots. And I absolutely love liquid pearls. They're one of my favorite embellishments to use. They give a nice raised look, and they've got that pearl kind of glow, I guess. And they're just really super beautiful. But that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, the stamp set is called Feathered Arrow. They have a lot of they have some Dreamcatcher stamps, which are absolutely amazing, which hopefully I will do next. But I love the stamp. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it or find it informative, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.